Wondering if you've been emotionally smothered by a parent? Well, today let's look at 5 signs as to how that might appear. Sometimes a client may ask a therapist, I think my parents love me, or is the love really just being confused with being emotionally taken over, emotionally smothered in some manner? These things become confusing for us as an adult if we're not sure. Everybody just tells me my parents were great parents. They were involved in everything of my life. They gave me tons of input. I guess that's a good thing. But in today's video, let's look at 5 ways in which it maybe wasn't so good. Sign number 1, they've been telling you maybe your whole life what to do with your life. Well, it's one thing to be guided and mentored by a parent, that's fine. Maybe given some motherly advice, that type of thing. But when a parent is trying to control how you live your life, and it started when you were young, getting these messages that you have to do what they want, you have to pick the career that they want you to be in. Don't go out with that guy, don't go out with that girl. No, it's not our type. We don't want him or her in our home. That's overly controlling. That's going to emotionally damage this child because they're learning that they don't really matter. It's very conditional love, isn't it? In addition to that, the child is being robbed of the ability to figure out their pathway in life. We learn from trial and error. That's how we grow. So-called failure can be a good thing because we realize, I don't want to do that again. It can steer us in the right direction, something where we're following our heart. It resonates with us. We have to find our way with that. If a parent is raising you to deny that, push that away, but do what I tell you to do, especially in important areas in our life with career and love and our future, then there are major red flags with this, and it likely has negatively impacted your life. That's not love. Number 2, they're overly helpful, but doing it in ways to control or manipulate you. Because on the surface, it seems like an overly helpful parent. Well, they love me. They're trying to do all they can to help me grow up into a strong adult. No, not so fast. Not if they're doing it as a way to manipulate or control you. By being overly helpful, it's a way for them to get their hands into every aspect of your life. More on that to come in sign number 3, but I also set up some guilt situations, and more on that in sign number 5. Guilt is an easy tool for a parent to use with a child. So through being overly helpful, the child may feel like they owe their parent, and a child shouldn't be raised to feel like they owe their parent anything. If it's coming from their heart and they love their parent, this is all going to unfold in a natural way. That's what unconditional, authentic love is. You know that saying, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. That's how children should be raised. When a parent tries to guilt a child into love, that's a big red flag. And that's not a sign of love. Sign number 3, they want to know all your business. This could have started at a young age and they're still trying to do it in your adult life now. Notice how you may feel like they're your spouse. Your father, your mother is always wondering, questioning you, getting information like you would get from a husband or wife because you're a team as a spouse. But you're not a team with your child. You raise a child to grow up and find their own wings. That's how you raise a healthy child, not by being overly involved and being overly enmeshed. And now it sets up some codependency. An overly enmeshed family is always going to be toxic. And it's done usually from a parent who doesn't have much of a life. They likely may be in a bad marriage, or there's an emptiness inside of them, some sort of void, and rather than deal with that in an adult way, for example, with a therapist to explore themselves, they just take it out on the child. Let me treat this child like my mini husband or mini wife. These are toxic signs. This sets up emotional incest. This is a form of emotional abuse, and it is definitely not love. And in number 4, we switch to where they're telling you all of their business. So not only do they want to know everything about your life, but also they've always overshared about their life. A child doesn't know what to do with that when they're growing up or even as an adult. Do I need to fix them? Do I need to save them? Why are they telling me this? Especially when a parent is sharing things about their sex life, about how they're having a drinking problem and they can't stop. Can you save me, dear son or daughter? Child's going to feel responsible on some level to make them sober. A child can't do that. This adult needs professional help. telling them about their workday every day and dumping on the child, about how mean the boss is, how they hate their coworkers. I never should have chosen this field. I hate my life. A child is not meant to be your dumping ground, dear parents. So a parent who overly shares, tells you all of their personal business, is crossing many healthy lines here. And now likely this child is growing up or has grown up into a neurotic adult, someone who has a savior complex. They have to fix other people, save other people. An adult now who doesn't feel capable of being in an adult relationship because after all, their parents, by dumping on them, have made them think that they're not supposed to be very valuable. It's all about other people's needs. And or this adult now doesn't know how to share what healthy communication is all about. What to share with a partner, what not to share with a partner, how to work through conflict and build up strong, healthy conflict resolution in life. And maybe now they're afraid of the workplace because after all, there's going to be mean coworkers there, a mean boss. Do you see the point? This parent is role modeling for this kid by oversharing that this is what life is. The kid is growing up with all these toxic messages, and that's not love. And number 5, in many ways throughout your whole life, maybe starting in early childhood, they've thrown on you these messages, sometimes subtle, sometimes not so subtle, that somehow you're responsible for the rest of their life. So as that parent will continue to age and become old, rather than them taking responsibility for making sure everything's okay, that they have enough in their savings, that the two parents have decided where they want to live, how they want to live, or if it's a single parent, same thing. How are they going to take care of themselves? They should know the answer to this. Where would they go for assisted living if by chance, unfortunately, they may need that someday? How will I get around if I have a problem with walking? This is up to them in their life to figure out, but maybe they've groomed you your whole life to think that you're responsible for that. That's not healthy. Again, another way it robs a child of their ability to focus on their own life and follow their dreams. Instead, they're guilted into perhaps thinking this is their responsibility. It's not. Don't fall for this trap. This is not love. So this video is mainly just to help you clarify what is love versus what has become toxic emotional smothering. Remember, genuine love is always going to be what's in your best interest to leave the nest and find your own life. And toxic love is going to be more so about keeping you in a trap, keeping you shackled, keeping you somehow in their life in a fear-based type of way where you're not supported in finding all your strengths and power that you have in your life because your parents want to rob you of it in order to fulfill their own narcissistic need. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. There's many more than these 5, but I focus on 5 that are common. Please leave some comments in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.